Hello, my name is Sonali and I welcome you all to the latest episode of Around the World in 7 Days. As you all know that Russia and Ukraine are on the battlefield for last 1 year. Apart from these two countries, other parts of the world are also being affected by this war. Then you will have to look at the geopolitical developments taking place in the countries of Asia. In this, you will see that China's closeness with Russia has increased phenomenally. At the same time, India is continuously buying oil from Russia, ignoring the sanctions of America and Europe. Whereas Japan is mending its relations with South Korea, putting aside decades-old differences. Apart from this, it is also increasing its closeness with Europe, keeping China threat in considerations. As a result of this, when Chinese President Xi Jinping was on a tour of Russia, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida was in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. Thus, the two leaders traveled to two opposite extremes of the warring factions. During his visit, Kishida assured his support to Ukraine. Along with this, he also announced to help in reconstruction and humanitarian relief works in Ukraine. Amidst all this, there are news reports that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that is NATO, will open an office in Japan. The office, which is the first of its kind in Asia, will provide consultancy services to regional close security partners such as South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand, apart from Japan. It covers a wide range of areas including cyber defense, maritime security, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, science and technology, and human security. But the one country that received all the attention in this initiative is not Japan but China. Now the obvious question that must be coming to your mind is, why is it so? What does China have to do with it? Another question that might be popping up in your head is that, despite not being a member of NATO, why is Japan allowing it to open its office? What is Japan's motive behind this? Apart from this, what trick is NATO playing? What is it up to? So let's address all these questions one by one. Chinese President Xi Jinping's ambition today is not only to play a bigger role on the global stage, but also to topple the US dominance and reshape geopolitics around the world. That's why America, the NATO, and its allies are facing challenges from China on many fronts. It has added a new dimension to the geopolitics of the Indo-Pacific, South Asia, and the South China Sea. Japan is also not untouched by this. It has conflicts with China on many issues. These include disputes over rights to the Senkaku Islands and the 𝐷𝐻𝐻 Islands. Apart from this, no solution of the Russia-Ukraine war has been found yet. The US inability to prevent discord and conflict within the United Nations, NATO, and the European Union has encouraged China. All these things collectively make the world fearful of a possible Chinese attack on Taiwan, in the manner like the Russian attack on Ukraine. If this happens, the countries of East Asia and Southeast Asia will also come under its grip. That's why there is a need to balance China to avoid any such mishappening. Now the question is, why is Japan doing this? Although Japan is not a member of NATO, it is designated as one of its global partners. This is the reason why Japanese Foreign Minister Yoshimasa Hayashi also took part in the extended session of the 2-day NATO Foreign Ministerial meeting held in Brussels last April. During this, he pledged to promote Japan's cooperation with the Transatlantic Alliance amid an increasingly volatile global security environment. Significantly, transatlantic is referred to the countries across the Atlantic Ocean. Hayashi said that Japan is becoming increasingly militarily assertive in the Indo-Pacific region. Therefore, Japan welcomes the increased participation of NATO member states in this region. According to experts, this is a positive step for Japan because they believe that Japan is very concerned that if Taiwan is attacked by China, there is little hope that other countries in Europe will help Japan and its ally America. On the other hand, North Korea is also an obvious concern for Japan, as it continues to build nuclear weapons and long-range ballistic missiles. Along with this, it keeps firing missiles in the Sea of Japan. Last month too, North Korea had worried Japan and South Korea by launching a missile. The missile fell in the sea between the Korean peninsula and Japan. As such, Japan is looking to beef up its security system. For this, it is working at many levels to control China and North Korea. At the same time, Japan also wants to show that it is actively contributing to global security. This new office is a way to showcase this contribution. Apart from this, Japan also wants to make Europe aware of the dangers present in this part of the world. The question that comes is, what is the purpose of NATO behind opening its office in Japan? According to NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, China's increasing assertiveness and its increasing cooperation with Russia is posing a threat not only to Asia but also to Europe. Although NATO previously claimed Russia as its biggest threat, China now poses systemic security challenges. This concern has increased even more since the attack on Ukraine. So NATO is formally trying to build a stronger relationship with America's most important non-NATO ally. Apart from this, its focus is to protect its members. Therefore, this security can no longer be ensured by focusing only on the Western world and its specific problems. The fact that Russia and China are getting closer and the significant investment and new advanced military capabilities by China underline that China is posing a threat. It is also a challenge for NATO allies. In such a situation, if seen from the point of view of NATO, then the challenge of security is not regional but global. There is also an interesting view that the Indo-Pacific region is poised to become a unique growth engine for the global economy. It is easy to understand why NATO wants to establish itself in this region. Overall, Japan and NATO need to remain united and determined in the face of security threats posed by China, North Korea, and Russia's wars in Ukraine. However, NATO's presence in the region may also present a challenge in the times to come. It cannot be denied that this region can become a theater of competing countries. If this happens, then even those countries will have to act on it, which often shy away from acting. So that was all in today's discussion. See you in the next episode. But before we leave, let's note down the practice question based on today's coverage. NATO can be used to contain China in the Indo-Pacific region, but it can also create challenges for the region in the future. Examine this statement logically.